This video is 3.3, part 2, dealing with our logic, our truth tables for conditional and biconditional. And one piece I forgot to mention at the end of the last video is that if you would have looked at number 2's example and you would have looked at the answer column, this is not a special case. And it would be called an open statement because we have some trues and some falses. So I just wanted to make sure you kind of saw that piece tied into it. So number 3, which is what we're going to start off with here, we have this statement: if P, then, and there would be a comma, P or Q, and they want to know if it's an implication. Remember what it means to prove if it's an implication. You're looking at the last column of your truth table, and it has to be an if-then, and it has to be a tautology, which means they all have to be true. So we are looking at the last column of my truth table, and we're looking to see if my last statement is that if-then, and it's a tautology, which means all truths. So I want you to pause the video. I want you to work out your truth table. Think about, again, what do I start off with? What order do I do this in? And then go through using your rules. Once you've finished, unpause it and come back. So looking at our truth table here, again, first step would have been my parentheses, which is here. And then my last step in this case is all of them. I have 2 simple statements because I have only a P and a Q. I don't need a P, Q, and R. So I have 4 statements, 4 possibilities. 2 trues, 2 falses, alternating true, false, true, false. So I have actually only 4 columns in this truth table. This first one is going to look at column 1 or column 2. And or means at least one has to be true to get a true answer. So this is giving you a lot more options. This is true, true, true. The only time it's false is if I go false, then false. I think this last statement is confusing looking with lots of letters, but if you number your columns, this is column 1, if then, column 3. Order does matter on this one, but again, it's going left to right, so it makes it easier. So we're starting with true, then true. That one didn't break a promise. True, true. That works. If we start with a false, remember, we don't break a promise either way. So for it to be an implication, it needs to be the last step being an if-then, which it is, and it needs to be a tautology, which it is. Key is in this section, y'all have got to practice showing your work on your paper. They're not going to be able to ask you to show you all the work on this on your homework, because this is just going to be a yes or no. But if you get to your test and don't know how to do the truth table, I will take points off. This is a test that 27 of the points on this test, at least that amount, is going to be hand graded. Going to number 4 and 5, notice a shift. We are looking for a truth value. We are not doing a truth table. This is going to give us one answer because they're already telling us what case happens. So if you think about a truth table, it's listing every single possibility of the combinations. This one is already telling you the combinations. So I told you when we did this in the last section, the only ones that I tend to do right off the bat is if I have a negation. But you can wait and do that as a step 2. So my symbols are going to stay. P is true. Negation of Q. Q is false, so that's going to be a true. Negation of R, that's going to be a false. So that was plugging in all of my information. Now I'm going to do my parentheses first. That is an and statement, which means both have to be true. They are. I now have in purple the only time my conditional is false, because that's where they break the promise, and that's, again, I think it's easier to think of it in that form. A conditional is, did you break a promise? So the answer to this problem is false. So go ahead and do number 5 and then unpause it when you're done. So you notice something that I do before I do any plugging in is I go ahead and write down all my symbols so that I don't mess any of those pieces up. So I'm going to plug in. P is true, Q is false, R is true. I was looking up at the highlighted green to do that. Now we're going to work in our innermost parentheses first. So I'm going to bring down everything else. False and true. This is an and statement, which means both have to be true. So that's false. We now do our inside parentheses. True then false is my only time it's false where I break a promise. And my last step is to negate that, which gives me a true answer. So this would have been a statement that would have had, it is false that, if I written it out. So that always means take it the negation of your final step to get an answer. So looking at number 6, suppose both of the following statements are false. They're telling you that both of these are false. And again, I don't want you to get confused by that, but I'm just trying to determine the truth value. So I'm going to say, is it true or false? And yes, like I told you, I understand when you're doing your problems, these are really quick for you to do because you just say true or false and it's 50-50 shot. But you're going to have to show your work on the test. So make sure you are doing it for your homework. So looking at this one, we have, again, let's circle our words. The word not, if and only if, spoke at the teachers. So the way I will do this one, and you have to look at your words up here, so receive the outstanding teacher award. That is my first simple statement that I have here. But if I look up, we've already defined that to be Q, and there's a negation. So negation of Q, if and only if, which is a double arrow, Muhammad spoke at the teachers' conference, which is P. So converting it from words to symbols is so important, because if you do that wrong, the problem is wrong. So now we look at this and we say, okay, let's put in our truth values. The negation of Q is true. P is false. They have to match to get a true, and so they do not match. So my answer is false. You have to memorize your rules for your truth table. It's so important. So last one for this section, I want you to practice on. I want you to take this in words, write it in symbols first, then go to your truth table. Pause this, try to do the whole design, and if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Try to see if you can do the whole design before you listen to me talk. So first thing I would do is circle your keywords that you see in here, your logical connectives that we have. You notice that we have that it is false that, which is going to give us that negation on the outside. So we go directly, in this case, in the order it's in. Eileen Joe's went to lunch is my P, and I know that says a capital. That just was, that should be a lowercase. She can take a message is my Q. My R, we will go home. So now we're going in and putting in our symbols in here. So it is false that, remember, means to negate the whole thing. So whenever you see that, you want to basically do this and then ignore it. Like put everything else in there. It is easy to forget it if you wait. So if then, so if Eileen goes to lunch, which is P, and the if then, that tells me the comma, put the parentheses around what follows. She cannot take a message, so that's negation of Q, and we'll go home. So it's easy to do something wrong. So once you write it down, reread it and make sure you have them. But it really does help to highlight, to circle, and do those pieces. So if we look at our truth table, we should know that we are starting with a P, Q, and R. And we should have 8 possibilities for that piece. Now we're looking at this, and we're going to do inside here first, but to do that, we need a negation of Q. So a negation of Q just flips our meanings. I'm going to go ahead and number these down here on the bottom so that it makes it easier as we go. Now I'm actually going to do that whole piece that's highlighted inside the parentheses, which is not Q and R. The order of these don't matter. This is both true. That's my rule. So I'm looking at, again, column 4 and 3. So they're not both true. No, yes, no, 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 yes, no. It's really easy to confuse that with your if and only if. These have to be both true for your and to work. Now we're going to go to the rest of our piece and the inside. So we're going to finish this next step with doing that if-then statement. This is, like I said, though, it looks complicated when you write it out in symbols, but knowing that I'm doing column 1, then column 5, and remember our rule here, the only time it's false is if it's true then false. So true then false gives me a false. True false gives me a false. True true works. True false no. All of them that start with false didn't break a promise, so they're automatically true. My last step in this truth table is to take that negation, and all I'm doing is negating that column 6 to get my answer. So true, true, false, true, false, 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 false. This is an open statement because I have a combination of those pieces. Practice, practice, practice.